Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. Today we're going to look at spacing objects around a circle in Illustrator in a way that is dynamic and can be edited. Now I'm going to make my objects circles, but you could make them whatever you like. I'm going to start over the left hand side of the document, create my first circle. I'm going to click the Move tool, hold down the Alt and the Shift key and just drag a duplicate of that circle across the document. Because I use the Shift key, they're both perfectly aligned. If they weren't perfectly aligned, you would grab both of them and go to this option, which is Vertical Align Center, because you want them to be perfectly aligned. We're going to make a blend out of this, so we can, with them both selected, go to Object and then Blend and Make. I'm going to double click on the Blend tool here in the toolbar, because that allows me to adjust my blend, and in this case we're going to choose Specified Steps. I'm going to set my steps at 1 because I want to explain what's happening here. When you set a step at 1, you get one object between the end two, so 3 in total. If we increase that to 2, we're going to get 2 objects. So if, for example, we wanted 12 dots in total, then we would subtract the end ones, leaving 10, and we would do 10 specified steps because that gives us 12 dots. I'm going to click OK. Now I want these dots to be rotated around the circle, so I'm going back to my Ellipse tool, hold down the Shift key, and I'm going to drag out the circle I want to use. When you have a blend, you can tell Illustrator to, instead of putting your blend on the straight line, to put it around the circle. You do that by selecting both the blend and the circle. And it doesn't matter when they were created. The blend could have been made after the circle. Illustrator is smart enough to realize that one of them is the blend and the other one is the way that you want to rotate your blend. With both these objects selected, you're going to Object and then Blend. And you're going to do what's called Replace Spine. So instead of this spine here, which is a straight line, we're going to use the spine from the circle. So I'll click Replace Spine. Now this has worked pretty much, except that we've got this big gap over here. And adding more dots isn't going to solve that. What's going to solve that is to cut this circle. So we're going over here to the point on the toolbar where you've got probably the eraser tool, and you're going looking for the scissors tool. It's hidden under the eraser tool. You're going to select it and then you're going to cut this circle somewhere. You can cut it on an anchor point, but you can cut it anywhere else as well. So I'm just going to hover over the path and just click once to cut it. What happens is that my small circles are now evenly spaced around my large circle, but this is still dynamic. So I'm going to select over everything. I'm going back to my blend tool. At this point, I can increase or decrease the number of circles by increasing or decreasing the specified steps. I'll click OK. I'm going to open up the Layers palette by pressing F7. I'm going to open up the blend so we can see what we've got here. What we've got here is the 2 ellipses, or the 2 circles that are the beginning and the end of the blend. They're actually on top of each other so that you can see that when I click on either of them, they're selected because they're stacked on top. And this is the path, so if I select the path, then I can edit the path. So I'm going back to the Selection tool and holding down, for example, Shift and Alt, I can make the circle bigger or smaller. And the actual blend circles, these circles here, are not changing size at all. The blend is fixed by the size of these objects here, but changing the size of the circle is making the entire effect dynamic. And so if I wanted more circles around my larger circle, I'd again go back to my blend, double click, and then increase or decrease the number of circles that I have here. Now once you've got your blend settled and you're happy, you've got it exactly the size that you want it to be and the number of dots, you can expand it. To do that, you're going to select the blend, you'll go to Object and then Blend, and you're going to choose Expand. Now when you do that, you're going to end up with a group in the Layers palette, and every single one of the circles is going to be an object inside that group. Now this process is going to work exactly the same if you're using other shapes. In this case, I have got a series of stars. Object, Blend, Make, double click on the Blend tool. I'm going to choose Specified Steps and I'm going to reduce the number of steps a little. Then I'll select both my blend and my shape, go to Object, Blend, and then Replace Spine. Then I simply need to go to the Scissors tool and click somewhere on my circle, on an anchor point or not, to cut it. and then I can adjust the blend to suit. Now in this case you'll see that the stars are being rotated and they're always pointing upwards. If I don't want that to be the case, I can change their orientation. When I do that, you can see that the stars are now all pointing into the center. So there are options here for changing the rotation or the orientation of a shape when the shape has something that can be pegged as an orientation. Of course, circles don't really have an orientation, but stars most certainly do. If you like carefully researched content like this, clearly presented in a step-by-step format so that you can get great results, then you'll love my Skillshare content. I'm a Skillshare top teacher. I have hundreds of short courses on Skillshare that you can access along with thousands of other great courses, all for the price of a single subscription. If you're interested, there's a Skillshare coupon for you in the description below to use to sign up. Using this coupon benefits me as a creator, and it helps me continue to make free content available here for you also on YouTube. Thank you for joining me for this video tutorial. On the screen now, you'll see a video that I've hand-picked for you. If you enjoyed the video you've just watched, I know that you're going to really enjoy the one I've picked for you to watch next.